Visionary, welcome back to our channel. This is Raquel of Raquel and Davidian, Unleash Your Genius. And in this video, I'm addressing one of the most important and common questions I get when you first see your human design chart that has to do with those little lines that you see in your charts when they're black, when they're red, when they're candy striped. What are those called? What do they do? How do they interact with someone else? For those of you who are more advanced, I'm also going to be talking about how these gates and channels operate with your composite chart, meaning when you put two people's charts together, either a friend, a lover, a husband, a wife, a partner, two people. When three people come together, this is something different, but when two people come together, the gates and the channels operate in specific ways, and that's what you're going to learn in this video, so I'll see you on the inside. Hello, Visionary, and welcome to your video on hanging gates and channels. One of the questions I seem to get asked often when people first come to their human design chart are, what are those black and red lines? You'll notice here that there are hanging gates, which these little lines are called, and they might be in black and they might be in red. So let me explain first this concept of the hanging gate. This comes when it's black, it's going to come from the personality side. So all these numbers that you have here on the right-hand side are going to show up as little hanging gates based on the I Ching and based on the Rave chart. So in this example, you see this hanging gate 61 here. And then you also see this hanging gate 63, which is also on the personality side under the Venus here. So this is where this hanging gate shows up in the Rave chart and where it shows up in the planetary influence. And then we have this hanging gate here on the red side, which is the design side. This is the vehicle intelligence. This is the mind. And for this chart, this hanging gate here shows up in the 47 here, which is the Mars. And then when you have a gate that is opposite, two gates that come together in one chart create a full black line from center to center. This energy really has to do also with the Kabbalah and how things move through the energy and the frequency of the Kabbalah. But here what we have is the spleen up to the will. We have the gate 44 in the black over here where you're going to see the gate 44. And then we have the gate 26, which we're going to see up here in the moon. And it creates a full channel here. So that's how we get the hanging gates and the channels. If you have a red and a black candy striped like this gate 6 here, that means that the gate 6 is going to show up on the personality side where you're conscious of it. So this is the 6 in Pluto. And then it's also a 6 over here in the unconscious or the design side, vehicle intelligence, Pluto. So this particular person is going to get both the lessons they're conscious of and unconscious of through this undefined center. So some of the things to look at is one of these hanging gates are off of a center that's undefined or defined. It also makes a difference because when it's undefined, this is inconsistent. And so we don't know how to process the emotions here. And they're coming through one hanging gate off of the undefined center. So this person is going to be processing emotions through conflict. The hanging gates are often drawn to the opposite side of the gate, like magnets drawn to the opposite magnetic pole in another person. Okay, so when you see a hanging gate on your chart and the other person has the matching hanging gate on their chart, that would create a full line or a full channel. This is called the electromagnetics. And that's what pulls you to other people. You might also have a compromise with someone. And what this would mean is if one of the charts has a hanging gate and then the other chart has a full channel. So that's the other thing you're looking at in a compromise. This is where you're actually in a very uncomfortable situation with the other person. So even though it's sort of making up electromagnetic, it's creating an actual dynamic where the person who has this full channel is creating a compromise with the person who has the hanging gate. That means that this person has no power over the energy that aligns with the channel. You'll see this person has the gate 46 and this person has the full channel here, the 4629. So this person would be compromised in the energy of this person. In particular, we're talking about a partnership, a relationship, husband, wife, some type of dynamic where it's just two people. So it's not the same when you're talking about three people. Okay. So once you have three people, you hit a penta. I have other videos on penta that you can listen to, and I'll put some links to the penta below. But this has to do specifically with a partnership or a composite chart. So when a composite chart comes together and you have that kind of compromise, it's a little bit of a different dynamic. Now, we can also look here at the electromagnetic. We have this gate 47 here, and then we have the electromagnetic of the 53. So that means that creates a full channel of them coming together. So there are a lot of dynamics in a partnership. There's a lot of different ways that the gates are going to come together. We also have what's called friendship, which basically means you have a channel that you share in common. And in this particular example, we have the 2551, and this chart here has the 2551. And that means that these two people are going to have a deep understanding and friendship and knowledge about how that particular channel operates. And that's like a really nice familiarity and commonality that you'll share with another person. We also have what's called a dominance, which means this person has the 4037, where this person has no hanging gate and nothing in that particular channel. And basically what that just means is that this person has all the strength, the consistency in that channel, and this person does not. So there are a lot of different ways to look at the hanging gates in the charts and how the channels are operating, but I hope that gives you the basics of how to look at the hanging gates, the channels, the red and the black, and when you have those candy striped red and black hanging gates in your chart. So I love hearing from you. Let me know how many compromises you have with your partner. The compromise is the hardest part in the relationship dynamic in a composite chart. If you have a compromise, that's the place where you can either love it or leave it, where the eruptions happen in relationships, where breakups might happen. It's in the compromises. So let me know what compromises you have with your loved one. And remember, what human design does is it helps you to recognize, oh, there's a compromise. You can't change it. You can't do therapy to shift it. What you have to do is recognize, oh, I'm compromised here. So that means in this area, in this chart, my partner is someone that I'm going to give them over the control in that area. Let them make decisions in that arena. Let them decide things for me. And you kind of let go of control. And it's actually very freeing. If you aren't aware, then the compromise can really destroy a relationship. But when you are aware, you have compassion for yourself, you have awareness, and it can be a really graceful, easy thing to deal with. So, again, another gift that we receive when we learn human design and we can properly know the other person, see them for who they are, have compassion, and then relationships are really smooth sailing because almost everyone's going to have a compromise. So, it's really, really good to know. All right, everybody. So tell me about your compromises below and stay beautiful and unleash your genius.